I guess me and Lucian are the hosts, since you're like the...
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. I think that works.
Yeah, I don't have responsibility.
You're the worst.
I just get to come in and talk.
Yeah, that's nice. That's fun. Do you even read the chapters?
Yes,
When did you?
like 3 hours ago.
I also did it today. I'm very procrastinating. It's like homework.
7, right? For 7.
Yes, the
Yep,
first 7
yep.
chapters.
Okay.
They're surprisingly
Imagine
very...
if it was like 20.
Oh god.
We just
no.
told you it was 7.
No, I went to Google Wiki. The One Piece Wiki is the best thing that ever happened to One Piece.
It's so good. So in depth.
Yeah, it has all the arcs and everything set up. I didn't even introduce our podcast yet. Hello,
Well,
and welcome to our
Hello.
originally named podcast, a reread of One Piece plus a new read of One Piece. We'll figure out the name later, I guess.
Yeah.
are hastily rushed, very fastly decided to make podcast.
I'd rather very fastly to make than, oh, we'll plan on doing it, and then 6 months
Yeah,
later
that's
nothing
true.
happens.
That's
I do
fair.
that way too much.
That's fair.
Yeah, and especially since
So-
it's just reading and recording what our thoughts are, it should be quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's much easier. So, Agro, you're new to One Piece, right?
Mhm.
Very new.
Yeah.
I've tried reading the first chapter like 7 times.
Really?
Yeah, something like
Wow.
that. And I never make it past the first couple pages. Not because I don't like it, just I reading.
God, you hurt me so much. Southland, what about you? What's your history with One Piece?
It's probably one of my first TV shows growing up. It was on 4Kids because I was in the States
Oh my
when it was
God.
on 4Kids, and we watched
No.
yes, Lollipop Sanji,
no.
and
Yayo, yayo.
yes, that opening is my childhood, along with Yu-Gi-Oh and what's the other 4Kids show that I watched when I was a kid? Zatch Bell, maybe. I don't know if that was 4Kids.
Yeah.
Just like all those
There is
anime
a
shows.
cut on like 4Kids when they're cutting to commercial when it's like, who gave Luffy his pirate hat?
Oh
Was
God.
it Shanks? Was it a character you haven't met yet?
Were they trying to emulate
Or
Pokemon?
was it Sonic the Hedgehog? I think so.
I definitely don't
didn't work
remember
well.
that.
Pirate.
One Piece could definitely do that though, just because there's so much characters. If they just show the silhouette, because the designs, the character designs are just so well done.
Yeah.
They could do like a Pokemon style.
Lucian was saying something like,
There's
was it
1,300
600? 1,300
characters,
named
I
characters,
think. Yeah.
How many named characters per chapter is that? Because that's way more than 1 per chapter.
It's like 1 point something per chapter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be, yeah.
I think-
so how
It's
caught up
probably
to One
pretty
Piece
easy
are
now.
you, Southland?
I read the latest chapter yesterday or before yesterday.
Oh, cool.
I read it
All right,
Thursday
So
night.
you and I are at the same point. You and I are both fully caught up to the manga.
yes, but it was
We're
a
going to make a secret podcast at the end of the podcast.
it was without Iron Agro. No, it was a strange journey for me because I watched it when I was a kid on 4Kids, and then I kind of just like forgot about anime for a while, and then our brother like reintroduced it to us because we didn't know it was like a Japanese cartoon or anything like that. We just thought it was an American show that aired for like 2 years or something like that. And so when
Yeah,
our
yeah.
brother reintroduced it to us, me and my sisters, we just binged the show off and on again. We watched like downloaded episodes. My brother downloaded some episodes from a really big arc later on. I'm not gonna say because we don't want to spoil Iron, but we got spoiled on some pretty big stuff. But we were like kids, so we didn't really care. And
It doesn't matter. You don't remember.
yeah. And my sister,
As a kid.
she was one. She was the one who was reading it actually, and she's like, "You guys have to read it." And they're like, "Why are we reading books when we can just watch the show?" We're just like, "You're dumb, yo." And now I'm the one who's reading it, and she's the one who's watching it. It's just this weird twist of fate.
Probably why it took me so long to get around to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, hey, we've
I'm not
offered to
committing to
watch it.
1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
it's a good 1,000
It's okay.
episodes.
They're on
though.
average like 18 minutes.
Because of the recap. No, but the anime,
Recap,
the early
yeah.
anime didn't do that up until like 2012.
No, it did not.
The 2012, the anime is pretty good. It's like consistently really well done, especially in
That was
2008.
10 years ago.
No, it was like for 10 years, it was consistently good. But that's like a feat in of itself. And then Toei became a trash heap, and they started pacing it really badly. And I'm gonna say after the time
Until
skip.
2 weeks ago.
Yes, that is what happened. They're like, wait, we have the most important IP in all of Japanese history. Maybe we should actually make it good. That sounds like a good idea.
Let's put effort in, I guess.
And then it's just another 10 years of bad pacing. I would say that's the biggest problem with One Piece, the pacing in this show.
We just got to remake the 1,000 episodes. Probably doing like
They
600.
they started doing recap movies a while ago, but they're horrible because they skip out on all the little details that make One Piece One Piece. But anyways, and so I stopped watching the show because of that bad pacing issues after like the time skip happened. And then like junior year of high school, 2017, I started reading week to week. Like I caught up, and it's been ever since then. I don't know. There was a huge fight going on at that time. It's one of my favorite fights in the entire series. I don't know if you know it, Lucian, at that time, but
I can probably guess which fight it was based on the time.
yeah, I don't want to say anything because we don't want to spoil Iron.
Yeah,
But I'll give you a hint.
probably at this point in time, the second best fight in the series.
It has something to do with donuts.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, yep, that was the one. This is my favorite fight, and it's when I caught up to the. Everybody has like that story of like what
Fantastic
chapter
fight.
they caught up on, like when they had to start reading week to
Yeah.
week. That's when I started reading week
It's
to
funny
week.
you mentioned that
Why?
because for me, about like 6 or 7 years ago, I think, like roughly, I don't remember the exact period of time where I started watching One Piece, but I started watching One Piece and I caught up to Thriller Bark. And I was like, man, I need a break. I just binge watched like a couple hundred episodes of this,
Yeah.
and I'm not a huge fan of this current arc. So after like 350 episodes of anime, I took a break and I came back, I don't know, a year or two later, and I caught all the way up to the current arc at the time, which was the Dressrosa arc, I'll say.
Okay.
And I just stopped watching after it got to the filler part after that arc finished because I just didn't want to watch filler. So
Yeah, the filler is bad. There's one good filler arc.
like, I don't know, I just basically didn't pay attention to One Piece for 2 or 3 years, let it get a ton of a backlog, and then binged up to episode 980 of the anime. Got so hyped for what was going to happen in the next chapter that I just immediately binged the entire rest of the manga, and I've kept up to date weekly ever since.
Interesting.
So for me, weekly has been pretty recent, but I have been a pretty big One Piece fan for a while. I've more just been caught up manga wise only very recently.
So when did you start the anime? Was it when you were younger, or was it when you were a little bit older, like in your teenager years?
No, like I would have been about probably 16 or 17. So yeah, like older teenager.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Cause like One Piece is like one of my first anime. It's just like crazy.
Yeah. I had seen a ton of other shows first.
All right. Okay.
And because of that, I was like, oh, that's long. I'll wait.
Yeah, I never had that problem because I always loved it. So when people tell me it's long, I'm like, that's an excuse. Stop being an idiot.
Now I'm with you. I'm all the way with you.
Okay, now the most important question
I've been
is,
saying aggro for a while.
Iron, why haven't you read or watched One Piece?
I started watching anime in 2016.
What?
The very first anime I ever watched. Yeah, I'd never seen an anime before that, not even like Dragon Ball or a Ghibli movie or anything. And then my friend at the church youth group got into K-pop, and our other friends and me were like, haha, next you'll be getting into anime. Haha. And then she really liked anime. She told us about all the anime she liked. So I was like, just okay, fine, suggest one to me because I felt kind of bad for even jokingly making fun of her. And she recommended me Fairy Tail.
Oh,
My
no
very first
way! Fairy Tail's my first manga. which is weird to think
Oh
about.
wow, okay. It's technically also my first manga because I caught up. But that was super long, obviously, and I like that series a lot. I watched it and went, wow, these are all a bunch of new tropes I've never seen in any other media before. Turns out it had all the anime tropes. Every
That
trope
was the
anime,
first-
any anime
Wow.
has ever had is in that series.
I love that series though.
But that's the first shonen or anime or anything I watched. Then when I got watching more, I didn't want to watch anything that long.
Oh,
'Cause
because of the PTSD.
Why would I spent well, I meant not even that. It's just I spent what 300 episodes at the time or something, 200, and then there's an infinite realm of possibilities.
So the second part of Fairy Tail had already started when you were into it.
Yes, it was.
If he got to it in 2016,
not the
then the anime was already like, it changed animation studios.
The anime. Part 2 had
Yes.
of the
Oh,
anime.
what?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my
it was
God.
It was right after part 2 had ended.
Oh,
Because
wow.
I remember I caught up and then watched the Zero anime.
Wait,
and then
how
had
did
to
you get
reboot
into
the
Attack
next
on
arc.
Titan then? Because
That was a year later when Lucian recommended it.
Lucian, you
Right,
recommended
I
it
got
to
Attack
him.
on Titan right as
You
Biggest
made
regret
the
of my life.
monster that we have today.
Yeah.
I got into that right when, like, literally when season 2 episode 11 aired, and I saw a GIF of it. There's I don't want to spoil anyone on a different series, but I saw a GIF from the anime, and I was like, "Is the show good?" Lucian, great. It's my good friend who I've known for 4 months or something, and he recommended it to me, and then I watched it in a weekend, and then I caught up on the manga.
Lucian, you made a monster.
Yeah, I didn't know. At the
That's my
time.
favorite manga for all the listeners.
So
Would
AOT
One Piece
is
be both of your favorite?
it's my favorite story that's ever been told. Yes, it could be just the nostalgia factor though for me.
Lucian?
So, I haven't read the whole manga. So I've only gotten up to chapter 173 on like actually going up. So I've watched the whole anime, and I have read from like, I don't know, chapter like 900 something to the current chapter, and chapters 1 to 173. But I haven't read everything between that and current, you know. So there's like 800 chapters.
Yeah, I'm
of
sure this is
manga
the
I
type
haven't
of
read.
that was the type of anime that could change your opinion.
Right.
because
So
of filler
already
and
I
stuff.
like a lot of characters more having reread those 170 something chapters than I did in the anime. So I think it will definitely be like at least top 2 or 3. I'm not sure if it will surpass Berserk for me, but it will be up there for sure.
For
Yeah.
me, I'm just so engrossed.
It's already a 10.
I'm curious just because both mine and Saflan's favorite manga is our favorite story period. Would that be Berserk for you?
No
Something
way.
else?
For me, it's a visual novel, House of Fata Morgana.
This was bait to make him say the words House of Fata Morgana.
I've never heard of that. It's a visual novel.
Very good. We
Like,
won't go into it because it's very good, not for One Piece, but good.
I was just gonna say that for me, like One Piece has just been such a part of my life, just growing up. You know, because I watched it when I was a kid, and so I would just sometimes I'd read random parts of the manga. So I don't have that like, oh, I haven't read chunks of the manga. No, I've probably read like every arc, a couple of chapters, just to see similarities or differences, or just to look at like the artwork sometimes, or maybe I'm bored. I go and look at the artwork just to see how detailed it is, you know? So I guess
Yeah.
I guess I've had the most time with the series, and that's why, and I definitely haven't read the manga from cover to cover, but I would say I've read like 50% of it, but like just sporadically throughout.
So there could be some new chapters for you too.
Oh, definitely.
Like at
yeah.
least in manga format.
Of course, yeah.
Like myself, you will have known all of the content inside of it, and just there may be some slight differences.
Like, I've never read
yeah.
these first 7
It's
chapters.
exciting. Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
I've always watched the show, and I love the show's version of the events in the first 7 chapters better. So I've always just watched the show when I'm rewatching One
I feel
Piece.
like I should watch like one episode of the anime every recording we do. Like, just will you recommend me one episode to watch from that section?
I
That could be
honestly,
interesting.
Figure that out later.
yeah, that's a hard one because the 7 chapters are adapted into the first 3 episodes, but they change so much from the first 7 chapters. I was like really shocked by how much they changed. I've never read these first 7 chapters.
Yeah, okay,
so.
maybe not. Yeah, maybe we'll wait.
Yeah.
The anime does get good. Like,
What did you guys think about the first chapter?
the first chapter did such a good job of setting the tone and the themes of the series. If you want a vibe for One Piece, it's the 1st chapter. I don't know, what did you think, Lucian?
Yeah, I would completely agree.
And Iron,
No,
since
I really
thank you.
liked it. I thought, yeah, I'm curious to know Iron's
You go
thoughts
first.
before I.
No, I want
paint
to.
them.
Lucian, you go first. I already have my opinion. I've thought
All
about
right,
this.
all right. I really liked. Well, one, as far as like my favorite moment from the first chapter, it's always been the like Shanks having the pistol to his head, saying you're putting your life on the line, pointing that at me.
It's a pretty cool
And
line.
then it's not safe to point guns, and his crewmate blasting the other guy. Like, it really
Murder!
shows you the darker side of like, oh, these are pirates, they kill people. If you are willing to kill them, they will kill you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we're getting into. Cool. Got it. And I think the first chapter overall just does a really good job of establishing how important Shanks is to Luffy, like inadvertently giving him the devil fruit, saving his life from the sea monster and sacrificing his arm, and obviously giving him his straw hat, which becomes, Straw Hat Luffy. It's literally what he is recognized by. So I think, within one chapter, it's made so clear how incredibly important Shanks is to Luffy and how much of an impact he has on him.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would say that my favorite moment is when he puts the hat on him, because the anime does such a good job of like framing it and composing that shot. It lives on in my head, and when I read it, I could hear the music in my head that happens in the anime when he shows that. And they didn't show, like, when big moments happen in the manga, they don't show any background. Oda does that a lot throughout the series, but in the anime they have to show background, of course.
It's easy for making stuff weekly. Make something you're not focusing in this type of format, whereas in anime and stuff, you have to make that or it will be noticeable.
Yeah. So it's just he makes big impact moments. He takes away the background, but the anime can't do that. And so the anime has this huge cloud in the background, and I teared up reading it today, just like remembering that. It's just a really
It's
awesome
a strength
moment.
of manga where you don't have to have anything else except what you need to focus on.
Yeah.
Whereas almost any other format, you have to have everything that's there, or else it will take the reader or watcher out of the experience to not have it. Even comic books, to an extent.
Yeah. So Ionagro, what was your
having
They're fully colored.
what was your favorite moment from the first chapter, or like what are your overall thoughts about the first chapter as a newbie?
It's okay.
What?
I think I have I wanted to go into the few things I know of the series,
Right. Go ahead.
and I feel like the few things I know are that every single character from early on will come back later as an important character, or at least a returning character. Make no comment, please. I knew about the Devil Fruit. I knew Luffy. Is it Luffy or Luffy?
It's Luffy.
Luffy. Okay. I know about our good pal Zolo. What a great name.
God.
It's Zoro.
you
It's
hurt me.
Roro Noah Zoro. Stop it.
I
It's
do
literally spelled in katakana, ro, Noah, Zoro, and then they're like, let's just change the last katakana ro to lo. Wouldn't that be cool?
know. I knew that. I know Blackbeard's a character. I know the redhead girl, the black-haired girl, and you probably don't. That probably means nothing.
We both know who you're talking about.
There's the weird guy. I don't know how. The skeleton man.
Okay.
Oh, I feel like I'm missing something else. I know there's a clown man, I think, and there's the baby man.
Okay.
And I saw the last 20 seconds of episode 1000.
What?
Because an animator I've followed for like 3 years or something did the animation for the last 20 seconds of the
Okay,
episode.
that's pretty cool.
And so I saw that clip out of context. I believe she worked on Critical Role. That's how I found her. And that's the full. And there's pirates. Also, the government's evil. That's it.
Are we still talking about One Piece?
Yes, apparently.
Good one.
And the pirates are the good guys.
No.
So I believe
What?
that's a full list of everything I know. And so going into this first chapter, I feel like I didn't learn anything. Oh, he's rubber. I know he's rubber. I knew that. I don't know anyone else's powers. I know no one else's powers whatsoever. I know Luffy can go big at some point. But I don't know anyone else's powers though. And so I feel like this first episode was just set up. I didn't get anything new out of it. It was still fine though. Like it wasn't bad. It was just a first chapter of a manga where I knew pretty much everything that was introduced. Luffy's going
Did
to be
you
a pirate.
think of Luffy's introduction?
He is a character.
I meant like the first time you meet him, he stabs himself under his eye to get attention from his crew and to be like, "I'm an adult, take me with you." Stab himself almost in the eye.
That made sense from what I knew about him. He seemed to be, overconfident shonen protagonist. Thankfully, now he has a superpower to help him do that without dying horribly. But yeah, it was fun. I'm surprised the one guy who kidnapped Luffy got to live.
No, he died.
Didn't he get eaten by
fell
the
off into the
sea?
sea.
Like a sea
He
monster?
got.
did he?
Yes, he got eaten by the
Oh, I
serpent, the Sea King.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I have
didn't
the
get that
chapter
from
pulled up
that.
on my computer so that I can sort of like reference it as
I
we're
thought they were
talking.
attacked, and that's
And
how
no,
he
he
got
gets
out.
eaten. He pushes. He tries to drown Luffy, and then as Luffy is like coming up from the water, he sees it about to eat
Okay, I did not
the
get
bandit, and then he eats the bandit. And then as Luffy's about to be eaten, Shanks saves him.
that. Okay, see,
What-
I thought Luffy was about to get eaten, and Shanks saved him. I did not get the other guy dying from that.
What did
Yeah.
you think about Shanks's introduction, Inagro, as like the, I guess,
He's
look up to
interesting.
character?
That's the other thing is that him and the first mate feel like they're 100% just set up characters for later. They just have "will return later" stamped on their forehead, which is not a bad thing. The first mate's evil, by the way.
What?
Just calling it now. He's gonna be an antagonist.
He does look like an antagonist.
His name was
though.
Mr. First Mate. So. Did he have
In
a
all
real
fair-
name?
he was the only one.
His name is
I don't think any of them aside from Shanks do yet.
no. The fat guy. His name's Lucky Roo, and then what's the? I can't remember the guy, the first mate's name. The guy that smokes.
Yeah.
But he does have a name. He's definitely a named character. I have to see this. 'Cause-
And there's the mayor is basically Luffy's stand-in father or guardian because he doesn't seem to have his parents.
That's it. Those are your
I
thoughts on the
noticed
first
you're not
chapter.
commenting on that at all. I think so. I wrote down so 9 years before the main story is when the Gold Roger, the king of the pirates, died and set off the race for the One Piece.
No, so
Isn't it 20?
yeah, it's 20
Well, no,
years
'cause
before.
It's 9 years before, like 9 years before the chapter 1, and the rest of the story takes place a year after that. Is what I got from that.
So
I could
it's
be wrong.
so Gold Roger
That would be
dies
10.
20 years before
Yeah.
Luffy sets out for sea. Is what I understand.
Right.
The,
Then it would be 10
translation
years
said
before
10
the
years.
start.
Translation said 9 years, or 9 years, and then it will agree. Okay, it started out 1 year ago, and then said 9 years ago.
So 1 year ago is the 1 year ago a pirate ship made the village its base, not 1 year ago,
Okay,
like in reference to Gold Roger.
got it.
Yeah.
The paneling of the first chapter did not translate well for me.
Really?
Well, yeah, obviously I misunderstood a bunch of stuff from the first chapter.
For me, like
I
One
think the rest,
Piece's
I think the rest
paneling
of it was fine.
is really well done.
Oh yeah, the rest of them were fine. I think that first chapter had a problem. I had like while reading it, I could tell it felt weird to me.
I
But
found
hey, it's the
the
first chapter of a manga.
I found the first mate's name. It's Ben Beckham. Beckman. Ben Beckman.
Okay.
Shanks doesn't have a last
Is
name.
that in the
Odd
first
name.
chapter or?
I mean,
Is
at
that
the
like
end
a
of the
thing you
first
find out
chapter, it
later?
just says Mr. First Mate.
I don't know. I don't know if this is important stuff.
I don't
For
think
all I know,
it
he's
is.
Blackbeard.
Blackbeard, no beard.
I mean,
Beardless Blackbeard.
well, because beard in Japanese means mustache and beard. Like, it counts for both of them.
I think you're right. Yeah,
Yeah, that's why.
his facial hair.
In general.
That's the point. He grows his beard in the time skip when he becomes the main antagonist. Obviously.
Okay, wait. I have to ask you. What did you think about like the pre-introduction?
Oh, wait.
The thing that's said at the beginning of every episode, about Gold Roger's execution.
Yes,
What did you think about that?
I have that memorized in Japanese in my head.
Me too.
Said there was a big treasure before he was killed. He was the coolest and greatest to ever live.
Man,
I don't remember anything else.
that's it? You're not like that was like the biggest
I
moment.
did not absorb this.
He didn't do his homework.
I knew this part. I've read this part like 7 times, like I said.
Uh-huh.
He was the coolest ever. No one ever was cooler. And then he was killed before announcing he is like the coolest, biggest treasure if you find it.
He had the
luck.
most style. He was the. That's like the equivalent.
And that was the end.
Because that is the biggest moment in the series, is his death,
I'm
which is weird. Because it's
I'm interested to find out more about him. Because obviously he's the coolest ever.
he had the most drip.
So
Also,
at
another
the-
thing I remembered, I do know there is a time skip at some point.
Okay.
But I do know there's a time skip.
The
Don't know
Jack
when, don't know
Sparrow drip.
context or anything.
Yeah. You could you say
So
that
there's
he's like
something from the.
I was just gonna ask.
I feel like yeah.
Do you think like Gold Roger
Yeah.
would be the Jack
I
Sparrow
think so.
of his universe?
Luffy, the future pirate king, the Elizabeth Swan.
Yeah,
Now I have to go watch the Pirates movies.
for sure.
There's like
You do, they're very good. I made Lucian watch them.
I
Well,
watched
me
them
and
and
two
then
other
kept referencing One Piece as I watched them.
He did do that, yeah.
there's this
Like, Pirates of the Caribbean's the only other pirate media I've consumed. And, like, 6 episodes of Black Sails, which our other friend she keeps trying to get me to watch. I've watched those 6 episodes, like, 5 times.
another great thing about the anime is the music. Like the music is consistently
Yeah.
really really good. And the voice acting is really good as well. Because when I read the manga, I hear their Japanese voice actors. I don't hear anybody. Like I'm reading in
Same.
English, but I hear their Japanese voice actors. It's very strange.
Same here.
Whenever I'm, like, reading something, I will usually put, like, a voice to a character.
Yes.
And I didn't, like, I can't tell you who I did. But, like,
But your voices are wrong
what was
because
it?
the voices are the voice actors from the anime.
yeah.
So you have to
Oh, yeah.
watch the anime because your voices are not going to be
Captain-
up par.
Captain Morgan. Who did I put? He was Jameson Price
Oh.
in my head. I'm sure Jameson Price will be many antagonists. In my
Jameson Price from what?
There
but I
was
did not
something at
find a
the-
voice for the main cast.
Oh, he's just a
I know
voice
him
actor?
as Nier from Nier.
Okay, he's just
Yes,
a voice
he's a voice
actor.
actor.
Okay, I'll look him up.
He's done a
Right,
lot of
you may
stuff.
not know him.
Yeah, you will know him from something, but
No, I think we should give you an episode to watch so you know the voices, so you don't like misinterpret them because that's false.
I don't know. I feel like I want like I don't want an idea of what to do for that. I don't know, though.
Upsetting me. I'm making upset.
There are definitely
Well,
some
you know,
points. like,
Obviously, you
I will be
recommend me
sending
what
you
episode to
clips
watch of
for
the
different
English
parts.
dub.
Oh god.
No, we're not
Which
doing the
one?
dub. Guys, I have a story to tell
Yes.
you. I went to a Comic-Con in recently, like last summer or something, and I met Colleen something, the lady that voices
Colleen
Luffy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the English voice actress
One
for
of my
Luffy,
favorites.
and she also voices
He also does
Erza
Goku.
in Fairy Tale.
Yep.
And there
Yeah,
was
yeah.
There's a lot of
nobody.
characters.
Does Goku and
She's one of my
Gohan.
favorite.
There was nobody in her line, so I went up to her and I
Oh,
tried
what?
to struck up a conversation, but because I didn't buy anything for her to sign, she was just like, "You want to
Oh.
move on?" And she like
No,
ended
yeah.
the conversation real quick. I mean, I was really nervous because she's like this
Yeah,
famous person,
okay.
but she like had this vibe
Yeah.
of like, "I don't want to talk to you because you're not making me sign anything and you're not buying anything from me." And so I was like, I left, and then I was like, why was I so nervous? Like, I watched the sub anyway. I never watched the dub. The joke's on her. And I just walked away.
You aren't a 68-year-old Japanese woman. You're not my Luffy. One of the most interesting things from the end of the first chapter was, I think, Luffy saying, "The first things first, I need to get a crew. I think about 10 men should do, and I need a pirate flag." Those are his only priorities moving forward. Crew of 10, pirate flag. Who needs a ship? Who needs to figure out how to go anywhere? Who needs food? Who needs medicine? I just need 10 dudes and a flag.
Well, I think he's
And a
basing it
raft, I
off of
guess.
Shanks's crew. Because Shanks's crew is just a group of
Yeah.
dudes, right? I don't
That's
think
true. They're not very large.
I don't think any of them are actually like specific roles. I went to the wiki and it just says officers.
I think he only has 5 named members.
Mr. First Mate is the first mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's just officers and then it says other members. It doesn't have like their titles or their what they do on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Oda
Yeah.
doesn't really reveal those until like the Vivre card comes
They're
out or
relevant.
the anime shows
Yeah.
it or something.
don't think
We're
so.
we're gonna go. I think we should just start with Kobe.
Kobe.
A lot of fun.
I didn't expect. Okay, so you might not know what I mean by this after.
Okay.
Laugh. I did not expect Luffy to have a Virgil, let alone it being a tiny Dragon Ball nerd character. He looks like from Dragon Ball, and he's one of the random people on the street who's going to fall
He's-
over and be shot by a
okay.
giant laser. The biggest
Sure.
setup for a rival character I have ever seen. Maybe.
I'm not gonna say anything, but
Yeah.
You don't have to.
if I didn't know One Piece, I would have thought that he would have been like one of the crew members or the crewmates.
No, he shouts it from like immediately. Like I'm going to join your enemy.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to
I
be
know
your
that,
enemy.
but like,
If you've seen Code Geass, I imagine he will be very similar to Suzaku.
Like a Suzaku,
Suzaku, yes,
like a Suzaku Lelouch kind of deal.
yes, exactly.
Like a
Except very different.
friendly antagonistic sort of
Right.
They're on
relationship.
opposite sides, but eventually he will see that the Navy
Get
are
along but
equal.
are on opposite sides sort of
Mhm.
deal.
Exactly.
Okay.
Until eventually he joins the crew in like chapter 1500. It's been very hype.
so you think Kobe is gonna come back in the series?
Oh, okay. No, there's not. I don't think. I know. If he
deep
doesn't
in his
come
bones.
back as an important character eventually, I will be mad. I don't even like him. I think he's annoying and looks ugly.
Wow.
But
Harsh.
but it was a very good setup.
All he did was go fishing. Inegro, don't hate on him. Oh.
Poor kid went
He wants
fishing,
to
ended
join
up
the-
on a
he wants
pirate
to
boat.
join
How
the
did that
Navy.
happen?
I
Imagine, like, I'm gonna join the Navy. Anyway, today I'm gonna go fishing. Uh-oh, this is a pirate boat. How did I miss the Jolly Roger and pirates?
yeah, they
How
never
the hell
explained
did
like
Kobe join a pirate ship. What the hell did he do?
he didn't join. They
He got
found him.
kidnapped by the weird
Yeah,
lady.
he became
no,
a
he
slave.
just accidentally walked on.
I think they explain it better in the anime, to be honest. But we're reading the
Yeah.
manga, so we can't discuss that. But
No, that's the next podcast. It's about 20 times long.
and Alvita, what do you think about our first antagonist, quote unquote?
She was okay. So I had a
First punching
problem.
bag.
For some reason, the Viz Media Reader was skipping pages. I didn't find out till next chapter. First time. through. I skipped the page. She was just gone, and they didn't mention her ever again.
Oh, what? I mean, that's pretty
Reading
much
on
her
the computer?
character, but
Yeah,
That's
Mhm.
why. Yeah.
yeah, there was a
can
double
skip
click
pages
issue. I figured it
sometime,
out,
yeah.
and once I switched to double pages, it worked fine. I was doing single pages at first,
Mhm.
and it just page, and she was just gone, and they were Luffy, and
Luffy.
I'm not gonna remember people's names. And Glasses Virgil.
Glasses Virgil.
Yep. For reference, Virgil is the name of the rival character in the Devil May Cry series,
hmm,
and so that's what I refer to all rivals as.
right. Okay.
But she was there. She existed for 5 pages or something. She'll be back.
She's honestly
Did she
so
die?
lame.
Did she die? I don't remember.
She just got punched really hard.
Okay.
Knocked her
I
down.
couldn't
Was like,
remember.
give me
I
a
read it out
boat.
of order.
This kid's joining the Navy. All right.
Yeah.
Luffy should do an advertisement for the Marines.
He probably has. Honestly, knowing Japan, he absolutely has done like Navy recruitment advertising.
That would be hilarious.
I could see it.
Isn't the Navy the antagonists?
They sure are. That doesn't mean anything in
Cool.
Japan.
Okay.
Lucian, what did you think of Kobe and Alvida from your perspective?
Oh yeah, I mean honestly, it was like I don't know. I remembered it. It was faster than I thought it would be. I was like, that was one chapter.
Pretty much, we are very much in like, we need the whole crew together as fast as possible while still being in natural pace.
Yes, that was actually
Yeah.
I mean, 7 chapters and we got 1 crew member, but still.
that was actually a problem with Oda. He had to he set himself a goal of like 100 chapters for the prologue of the series. This is the prologue of the series, by the way.
Nice.
It is the prologue. The first 100 chapters is the prologue.
and so like that, I think that's why these first couple of chapters are kind of like real quick, real fast, because the anime kind of takes that and
Yeah. I think a lot of
recontextualizes it
manga
better.
have that issue.
In my opinion, the anime takes these 7 chapters and makes them like actually a little bit better with better context and actually some more foreshadowing
Amazing.
than One Piece does and than the
for,
manga
for
does.
manga, for mangas have to prove themselves right away, or they're just being canceled. There's no, like, it's not a comic or a television series where they order a certain amount of content.
Yeah,
And you have however long that is, 12 episodes or 6 issues or whatever. You have an unknown amount of time. Any single issue you could be canceled at the beginning.
the problem with One Piece is that it
if
takes
your first volume doesn't sell enough. Yeah.
yeah. The problem with One Piece is that
Why
it takes
the
it.
Attack on Titan completely changes the pace of the first like half of the season in the anime.
Yeah. The problem with One Piece is that it takes a while for it to get good. Because the first couple of arcs are kind of like, they're kind of like this. They're either too fast paced or too slow paced, and you're just like, you're confused about where it's going. It's kind of aimless for a bit. But once, at least
I can enjoy aimlessness
I
if it's
think
fun.
once you hit like
episode 48 is when it gets good for me, at least. I don't know the chapter,
40.
though.
episode 40, that's pretty like that's basically the end of East Blue.
Is it?
Yeah, for me,
I
I would
think.
say like chapter wise, it would be. I don't know if I want to say the name of the arc.
Don't say the name
I
of the
think
arc. Don't say it. I know
All
what
right,
you're
then,
talking
then
about.
I'll say like, basically, the 4th and 5th East Blue arcs. Are,
I agree
like,
with you.
To this day, great.
What?
Yes, I agree with
Um,
Lucian.
And so when we get to
Fourth or
that,
fifth?
yeah, there are 6. This one
Oh,
is
wow,
7
cool.
chapters. The last one is 5 chapters. The other ones are, around like 20-ish.
They
each.
take up the bulk of the 100 chapters of the
Right.
prologue.
But those 4th and 5th ones are like great, and the other ones are not at the same level in my opinion. They're good. They're just they don't hold up to those other ones.
We'll get to those when we get there.
Yeah, for sure. But as far as like pacing issues and stuff, I think that and I'm very excited for the next arc. Personally.
I just wanted to say my thoughts real quick on the Alvida
Yeah, of
Kobe
course.
situation. I didn't think that it would be a lot funnier. Like the jokes, they don't hit harder. They're just like, because I'm reading it and I read quick, the gags
You're
hit
reading at your own pace.
faster.
You can
Yeah.
make the joke hit when you want it to hit.
That's true. And like even in Luffy's introduction, when Shanks is like, "Oh, you want some orange juice?" and then he starts laughing when he drinks it. It takes a second
Yeah.
in the anime for that to register, and that's just like a timing thing. Because I read real quick and real fast. I didn't think I'd like the jokes as much in this one, but I do. But they definitely hit better in the anime because they can space them out. And that's such a big part of One Piece is just the comedy. And if you can't hit that, then it's not the series that I love. So good job, Oda, with the jokes part, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kobe kind of introduces that aspect of Luffy that just like doesn't care about anything. He's like, "Wow, you're such a crybaby, and I hate you already." And Kobe's like, "We just met 2 seconds ago." I just think that's hilarious. Okay, and now we are going to go to the next arc. Well, it's not the next arc; it's still part of Romance
It's
Dawn.
the next 4 chapters or 5 chapters are all pretty much. Or they're one.
Yeah,
And-
they are based.
We are introducing my favorite character ever in existence,
I
Roronoa
technically
Zoro.
bought an anime figure of him in a gift exchange on r/anime.
Oh my god.
I got Akuma got Kill Part 1.
I'm sorry.
You traded Zoro for
I've never
some
watched-
syllables?
I've never watched
What is
it.
wrong with you? I'm gonna go first. No, I'll go
Yeah, yeah,
last
go for it.
because I love Zoro and I'm gonna gush about him
Okay.
for forever. So we're gonna go with Ainagro first.
Okay.
What
I have
did you
many-
think?
I have many
Zoro?
things to say.
Go ahead.
Okay, Zoro. Okay, I have one note about Zoro. It's not even about Zoro. It's about his motivation and backstory. So his backstory is he's going to become the coolest sword fighter ever. I don't know why he can't become a pirate to do this. That doesn't really make any sense, but whatever. They get past that. His motivation to do so is because his rival, Kunia? Is that how you say her name?
Kuina.
Kuina? Yeah, she fell down the stairs and died. She fell downstairs.
Human beings
Yeah.
are fragile creatures, especially children.
Don't tell me. I'm guessing there's more to it than that, but I hope there's not. I hope she just fell down some stairs the next day.
There are a lot of
That's
theories
it.
in the community that take that one piece of information and blow it way out of proportion.
There are people who have created, like, did you know that in Japan, falling down the stairs is a euphemism for suicide? It's not. It's totally not. But people really want falling down the stairs to mean more.
Because
It
it's
should be more.
Zoro.
She
Because
fell down some stairs. It the
She did fall down the
most
stairs.
popular character's motivation is that some girl fell down some stairs.
yeah, I think that's the problem. It's because it's Zoro's backstory, and so people want to read into it more than it actually is.
Like it's an important thing.
But in my opinion, she just fell down some stairs. Like it was an accident.
Yeah.
Like, and she was a kid.
Probably. This is chapter what 4.
yeah,
It makes sense.
5 in that
He,
one. But
like
yeah.
they did not have a fully fleshed out backstory. But really, when she's actually turns out to be Blackbeard, I'll be very hyped.
she's actually the last boss.
Let's see.
Kuina is the
Okay, I
One
have no
Piece.
other notes about Zoro. I knew he fought with 3 swords. I knew pretty much everything else about we learned about him in this little arc. But
Okay, you're
he's
just you're just miffed about his backstory.
cool. No, I'm not upset. It's just weird. It's different. It's just like the one thing I literally I read it and then went forward a page and then went back. Well, wait a second. There's nothing else to it. She just fell down the stairs. I figured like she fell down the stairs and then it's secretly she got murdered and he knows about it, so he has to become the coolest sword fighter to beat whoever pushed her down the stairs. No, she just fell down the stairs and died. A sword fighter
Oh god.
way cooler than Zoro.
I'm just gonna say that he gets way better
name?
at
Zola.
backstories. Oda gets way better at backstories
I
later
can
down the
imagine.
line.
I like.
It's funny because he starts the story with a backstory, with 2 backstories actually. The death of Gold
Yeah.
Roger, the execution of Gold Roger, and then Luffy's past the Shanks. But that's just
And I
meaning,
imagine
like-
obviously we have to get
Yeah.
8 other character backstories for the main cast plus Kobe.
yeah.
Yes.
And
He'll be a
okay,
basketball player.
and then
He's
what
gonna
did
join the
you?
Navy.
He's gonna be a basketball player. What did you think? What did you think about like the overall like how Luffy made Zoro join his crew, like that whole arc with the Marines
Just the
being
rest of the chapters and all
yeah,
that.
basically.
Yeah.
What did you
It
think about
definitely
that?
felt fast. Like I have like in my notes like the Axe Hand Morgan.
Yeah.
It was like the most comically evil villain I've ever seen, possibly.
That
Which
did
is
come
fine.
to
He's
mind
there
when I
for
was
3
reading it.
chapters.
Yeah.
How
I
about
do
his
like
son?
that he just punched his own kid. Yeah, that he's hilariously comically evil. Have you seen the movie John Wick?
Yes.
It's a very similar setup.
Oh God, that's true. That's right.
But,
Zoro killed his dog.
Didn't Zoro kill the dog?
Imagine a John Wick
Maybe.
movie where Zoro just kills his dogs and Zoro has to fight John Wick. That would be an amazing movie. That would make so much money.
They did introduce the like Zoro is kind of dumb when he just went, yeah, I'll just wait here for a month and then they'll let me go. Right? You won't lie. He's rich. He's a truther.
And like what
A
it
couple other notes I had.
okay,
Oh,
go
you
ahead. I was just gonna ask you
No,
what
you-
you think
you.
of the Marines, the Marine not the
Marines
cadets.
who wear baseball caps and some like
No,
buttoned up shirt.
like what did you think of how they because they were technically also
They were baseball caps. The Marines were baseball caps.
yes, they're a
It's
baseball
like Marine
team.
on them.
You're right.
And Kobe's gonna play basketball with them. What
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna ask is, like, because they were also because this guy Captain Morgan was basically a dictator to this town and to his
Oh yeah.
under officers, or I don't know what you call them. What did
I
you think
already know
about
the
that
government's evil,
aspect of
so-
like the officers being like,
This
yeah,
is-
we're free, pirates freed us, and
Yeah,
all
that's
that stuff.
something I expected going in. Like I did know that was a heavy theme of One Piece.
Just dictators and Luffy beating the shit out of them.
Exactly. Yes,
Couldn't have said it better
exactly how
myself.
I've had it described to me. It's come up in those conversations of things that's like, when did blanket so political, like One Piece?
Chapter 7.
Here we go. Chapter 25, or Metal Gear.
It's not even political. It's just Luffy beating up dictators.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like always is the answer. It always was.
That's true.
Let's see. I
agree with
had one other note in beginning of chapter 5. There's a shot of Luffy at some sort of I don't know drink stand where he's drinking a drink with a dolphin.
Oh, it's the
Yeah,
chapter
that's the
cover.
cover. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think he's trying to steal.
Why is
that-
there a dolphin?
That's just like the cover art
Sitting in
for
the
the
chair.
chapter.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no future context. We're not going to meet the dolphin man.
No.
Who's a
Not
dolphin.
not for this
Not yet.
cover art.
Okay.
If there's
Like-
a cover art that has a like part 1 or part 2 under it, it is canon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll
Yeah.
see when we get there.
This does not.
This isn't canon. Yeah,
I'm
this is
sad.
just him.
I wanted the dolphin to be the third member of the. What are they called? They don't have the
Straw
name
Hats?
yet. But yes, they're straw
Yeah.
hats. Okay.
They
Not
don't
yet.
have their name yet. No.
We'll get to the name eventually. I have heard that name many times though.
Yeah.
No, but in the beginning, he would just draw animals. He likes to draw. Oda likes to draw animals with his crew members. But then now people like send in requests through the mail, and he does. That's how he draws the cover art now.
I did like
Chapter
the
cover.
little thing at the end of make your own pirate flag. All it needs is skull and bones.
One is super
We should make
detailed.
our own pirate flags, and
Oh my god!
you should be offended at my awful drawing
God.
skills.
Jeez.
You could do like your character Elizabeth as a pirate flag.
Oh, that'd be great.
Okay, because this is your journey through the series. Okay, Lucian, what did you think of?
I mean, hey, both of you haven't read most of the manga. Technically.
Fair.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to make a pirate crew or something.
Yeah.
So-
I didn't expect to get Zoro's backstory this fast, to be honest.
Really, you don't remember it?
Happens in 4 pages.
No, like I remembered it very vividly and laughing at it. But I didn't expect it to happen so fast.
Yeah.
I looked back at it as Agro was talking, and one of the little details I picked up was that you know how he asks like, Sensei, can I have her sword? And so Zoro's third sword is Kuina's old sword, and so the white sheathed sword that Zoro has is her old sword. You can see her
I didn't notice
holding it
that.
in one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just noticed that, like rereading through as we were talking. So that was a little interesting thing I picked up. I think one of my favorite moments from like these few chapters was Luffy, Luffy and Zoro. Like, okay, you're joining the crew. All right, I'm joining the crew. They've agreed. He is now a pirate who is joining the crew,
Yes.
and Helmeppo has a gun to Kobe's head, and he's like, "Don't move, so help me God, I'll shoot the kid." And Luffy's like, "Anyway, I'm gonna punch you now," and he punches Helmeppo holding the pistol up to Kobe, completely leaving his back open and exposed to Captain Morgan, and fully trusting that this totally new guy who he just recruited to join him will save his life. He just inherently trusts Zoro immediately after freeing him and giving his swords back to him, and it works. But I just thought that was a very interesting look at one, the way that Luffy, how quickly he'll consider someone a friend or trust them, and two, how they sort of play off of each other, you know, and their sort of inherent relationship with one another, you know.
Anything
Yeah,
else?
overall, I'd agree that Morgan is maybe a little comically evil.
He'll be back, and you'll have a second axe hand.
Yeah. This time it's a great axe and it's double sided. I did go through and try to keep track of what moves has Luffy done in the Romance Dawn arc, and
He
so
did the
far
punch.
he's done pistol,
Mm-hmm.
rocket to
Yes.
get up on top of the like top, and to
He
the
did
quick
rocket
maneuver, and
twice.
he did whip. Yeah, he did do rocket twice, and he used whip to take out all of the people that Zoro was holding up.
Goma Goma
So
no
he's used
Mushi.
3 gum
Shield
attacks.
count.
See, this
Did
is.
he do
Did
shield?
Did he do what?
Stood in front of bullets.
Oh. I mean, his body. He didn't say like gum something. So,
Okay.
no.
Then shout
But
out his
that is a
attack name.
very cool. Exactly right.
That was
What
a,
about you, though, Southland?
what I thought. Okay, so I'm just.
Did we say our names at the start of the podcast?
Yes, we did. Maybe. I don't
Probably.
I
remember.
don't think we did. I'm just thinking this now.
They'll
Wait, go
figure
on.
it out. What I thought of this arc, I agree that the backstory was real quick. The anime did it way, way better, in my opinion. I'm just gonna gush over the anime, guys. I'm sorry. But just like the
Okay, I'll never watch
jokes,
it, so you can say all you want.
the jokes between Luffy and Zoro, that just the start of their relationship. I think Oda is really good at like introducing what a thing is going to be like for the entire series, because their interaction of Luffy being like, "Oh, you're a good guy. You're going to join my crew now." And Zoro's like, "No, I'm not. What are you talking about?" He's like, "Okay, I'm going to threaten you with your swords. I'm going to go get them real quick." He's like, "What are you talking about? We
was really
didn't
funny.
have this conversation." You know, just like that is their relationship. Like Zoro covering for Luffy because they didn't have the conversation. And I really love that aspect of their relationship and how well it was introduced. I'm just like really shocked at how well he introduced like a lot of the themes and the characters, no matter how simple they are. Like Axe-Hand Morgan, yeah, he's like a cartoonish villain, but he is like an example of all the villains that Luffy's gonna face in the future, which is pretty amazing foreshadowing to me. Like literally every villain is like Axe-Hand Morgan, in my opinion. Just like they have different personalities or different ideologies, but it's all, if you boil down all the villains that we're going to face, they're all comically dumb villains, in my
I was
opinion.
trying to think of that last night. I was like, are they all this
Yes.
comically evil? And I was
Yes.
like, I think they might be.
They are
might
though.
be.
I think that's the point though, and
They get better.
they do get
like,
better. Yes,
They're better fleshed out.
I
and
can
more
enjoy a good
interesting.
comically evil.
But they
villain.
are just comically evil. I was thinking of even like the most recent villains, and I was like, oh no, those are pretty just comically evil. Yeah.
I won't say the name or anything, but the main antagonist of the Danganronpa series is one of the most comically evil characters to ever exist, and they are
Yeah.
one of my favorite characters. to
is it
ever
like the
exist.
panda bear? I don't know a lot about Danganronpa, but I know that there's a bear. In
We're
it.
gonna move on then.
That's not the character he's talking about. but,
Okay.
Yeah.
And
The
so
person behind the panda.
and I love, and Zoro's like I said, he's one of my favorite characters because he's so simple as in his conception. Like he just wants to win all the time, and he lost it to a girl of all people, and that's what made him kind of like humbled him a little bit because he kept losing to her, and then
2001 times.
I know. I hate in anime and manga when they're like, "Oh, I know the exact number of wins and losses that we've had. That's how much respect I have for you." I was like, I want to remember the number of times I've fought you. I've beaten you.
I think I can imagine them keeping track. Like, there's like 5 kids, too. Like, I can
Yeah,
imagine
nothing else
the
to do.
group of them, like, being like, ooh, that's 40 to 1. That's 40 to 0.
But 2001,
Yeah.
that's a year.
That's
I
a
was
lot.
1 year
I'm
old
now
in
going to play
2001.
Kingdom Hearts and lose 2001 times to Riku.
That was
Very
more
beginning.
losses than there were years on the calendar at the time that chapter came out.
Wait, okay. Assuming they did, let's say, a max 5 a day.
Right?
5 fights a day. Which there's no way they
How
did. You know
old
what?
were they? Oh my god,
They were
you're right.
like 12. Actually, let's say 3 times a day because they're children. How many is that?
I need a calculator. Give me a second.
Oh, if they fought 3 or 5 times a day. Oh, you said
3
3
times.
a
Let's
day?
say 3 times a day to average it out. Sometimes they wouldn't fight at all. Sometimes they'll fight 5 times.
That would be 1,095. So over 2 years that they could do that.
But was Zoro with them for
3
2
years.
years?
Over 3 years.
2 years. 365 days times 3.
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
We know how to do math here.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I will say, since we're discussing the anime, the end of that, I think, 3rd episode, and I will send this so Aggro can watch it later, was the first use of the song Overtaken.
Oh,
which
really?
Yeah, so when he gets introduced and joins, or when Luffy like tanks all the bullets, I think, the song Overtaken plays, which is probably my favorite One Piece song aside from like the OPs, and it's super iconic and really good, and it was the very first use of it.
That's cool. My favorite is the very, very, very strongest, but that's used later, so we won't talk about it right now. As I was saying, I just like how humbled he was as a child, and that kind of fits into his character of like, and even though he was that humbled, he kind of like inflates his ego again, where he's like, I won't ever lose again, and all that stuff, and that kind of plays into his character later on of just like being humbled. And he requires that, because if he's not humbled, then it gets to his head, and he's that kind of character. I have like this little inkling of a feeling that like Zoro should have been a main character in his own series, to be honest.
Oh, in any other he would.
Yes, in any other series he would have been the main character, but
Yeah.
because Luffy is
I
such
mean, his goal is to become the strongest sword fighter in the
Yeah.
world. That's a premise.
that's a
I
typically
want to be the strongest
shonen,
sword fighter in the world.
yeah, and
You know, but because it's One Piece,
yeah,
he is he's playing second horn to the future king of the pirates and like the future strongest swordsman. Like
yeah.
it's pretty lofty goals for the two of them.
But it's not just that, it's just Luffy is the main character because this isn't a typical battle shonen. This is an adventure series, and an adventure series has no place for a main character like Zoro. Zoro would probably be more of a main character.
Zoro would be killing everyone.
That's true. Like he doesn't care
Sounds
about
cool.
anybody right now. Like he said at the end of their alliance, you could say he's like, I will kill you if you get in the way of my goal. Like, that doesn't sound
Yep.
like a protagonist to me. That sounds like an antagonist, if anything. And he was supposed to be an antagonist, and we'll get to that later. I'll show Iron Aggro the like pre-concepts before, like when we finish the prologue and stuff like that. But he was planned to be an antagonist, Iron, if you didn't know. And just like he becomes an ally, and their
I mean,
dynamic is
we
just
know that his name is Pirate Hunter Zoro.
yeah, and I love that that's his epithet for the rest of the
know.
show. I love it.
Pirate Hunter Zoro the pirate. Yeah.
Isn't that
to
like
this most recent chapter, he is still Pirate Hunter Zoro.
like that's his name, like Straw Hat Luffy, Pirate Hunter Zoro, those are their names.
Straw Hat Luffy, Pirate Hunter Zoro. That's what he is like referred to on like a wanted poster or something. You know, like that's what people know them as.
The Marines are kind of stupid, I would say, in their naming conventions. They're like those in One Punch Man, if you've seen that episode or that manga chapter where they just spent an entire like an hour or two figuring out the names of Saitama and Genos. And it's like Caped Baldy and Demon Cyborg. I was like, wow, so original. It's like, I feel like the Marines do the same thing. They just go into a room and they decide on the names of their their adversaries. They're like, we should call him Pirate Hunter, but he's a pirate now, sir. Exactly. Like, that's the art of the name.
He's still hunting pirates.
He's
sir.
undercover.
We got off on a tangent, but what I was saying is that I love Zoro because he is supposed to be the main character, but he's not. And that's just such an interesting way to take a character like that. Somebody who's full of themselves, who's usually the protagonist. Like, he's not even a rival character or anything like that. He's just like, he's the second hand. And technically, if you compare it to Shanks, he kind of sounds like Ben Beckham. Like, Ben Beckham's the serious, cool type. And Zoro's the serious, cool type. And Shanks is like the laughing, let's have fun type. And Luffy is the same way. And so they just have that. I think One Piece introduced me to the main character can be anything you want it to be. And your secondary characters can be anything you want them to be. They don't have to be a specific type of character. Like, the main character doesn't have to be a badass. Like, they can, but they don't have to. It's more interesting for the secondary character to be a badass.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. And that's kind of like why I love Zoro so much, because he breaks the shackles of the quote unquote badass character. And like when he's with Luffy, he's kind of like the straw man, not the straw man, but the straight man in like the comedic duo. If you guys don't know, there's like this thing in comedy. Yeah. They do a lot in Japanese media too, like where there's the main character and then
comedic duos. Yeah.
He's a very comedic, or Luffy is a very comedic character.
And he
Who
needs
does not take
Straight man to play off of. He
So
had
you
Kobe
need-
early
if
on,
you
and so
don't
now he has
have-
Zoro.
Zoro or someone else for him to bounce off of, he will get annoying eventually. No matter how funny or interesting you find the character, eventually,
Yeah.
with a series that's this long, you need one serious for him to bounce off of.
Right. And I think the funniest scene in the chapter, which kind of encapsulates all these ideas, is when Zoro's like, okay, you gotta untie me if we're gonna be like partners or whatever. And he's like, fine, okay. And Luffy just like takes his time with the knot. And he's like, dude, they're coming after us. He's like, it's so like, it's hard to do. Come on, give me a second here. And he's like, come on, we're gonna die. And he's like, and then he unties it. He's like, no, he unties it. And then he's like, look, I untied it. Like, aren't you proud of me? And he's like, give me my swords. We don't have time for this. And then the next scene is like, I
Which
will
leads
kill you.
directly into like the 3-sword. Yeah.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
also, by the way, like, is there anything cooler than using 3 swords?
No,
Like,
there is.
it's so cool.
It is
It's such a cool
objectively the
fighting
coolest
style.
thing in existence. What did you think, Iron? Did you think it was just
I agree.
I
basic?
mean, he still has 2 limbs. So
You're the
one
worst.
day.
Interesting. So you think he should have more swords?
Beyblade. Beyblade Zoro. Just breakdance with swords. Oh, it's a cool gimmick. It makes him unique.
Yeah.
You're being. I don't like how
It's
like
funny though that you mentioned.
I don't
They're
like
both
how
too nice.
I don't like how nonchalant you're being about this, Iron. You're just like, yeah, it's like your typical first chapter. It's like your typical thing. It makes him unique.
Okay, but it's typical because so many things have been inspired by this, and so it's going to be typical.
Because it
Yeah.
happened
Like,
25
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like I watched the movie Ghost in the Shell a couple of years ago. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a good movie. An incredible animation still to this day. But like, it's kind of generic and doesn't do anything interesting or different from other sci-fi because so many pieces of sci-fi based themselves off of Ghost in the Shell.
Mhm.
Like The Matrix is something that like specifically said, yeah, have you seen Ghost in the Shell? Look at it. Or Near Automata or stuff. I've seen it done so many times that when I went back to that original one, it wasn't quite as impressive. It's still good, don't get me wrong.
It's very interesting
But
because
I've seen it before.
'cause-
Because the thing of like my context now.
right. But you're a huge fan of Final Fantasy VII, right? The original one, at least.
Yes, I do enjoy that game a lot.
Yeah, but if you went back, like if I played it and I knew like RPGs, would I be like, oh, this is kind of stale? Would I say that? Because
I think a lot of people are. I think a lot of people do. I definitely think Seven does a lot of its own stuff. I'd say that's more of a problem the first 4 or 5 Final Fantasy games have than 7 specifically. But yeah, that is a problem it has that I've seen a lot more people having in the past 5-6 years.
yeah, that's interesting because I didn't think about it that way. That it's kind of like patient zero, and so it doesn't do anything different because it was the first thing that did the different thing that everybody
This
else
goes all the way
copying.
back to it's the Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, like one of the first like pieces of sci-fi media people know about. Or technically, if you go read that book from like the early 1900s, it's unique and different. Except it's not because it's been
Because
done
we're
10
living in the future it's writing
bajillion
about.
times. Yeah, pretty much.
I was actually watching this video the other day about.
It was still good. It was still very good few chapters though.
Yeah,
I still enjoyed them.
I was watching a video the other day about. Do you guys know Super Eye Patch Wolf? He's like this anime
I do know
YouTuber.
of him, yes.
He does a thing called like Shonen Jump, the current state of Shonen Jump, and
I
for
did
the
watch that video. That was good.
for the first time in like 3 or 4, like for the first time in a decade, like One Piece wasn't in the top 3 selling
Yeah.
selling volumes or copies. I don't really know the specific statistic. But and he's like, it's probably because One Piece already has its main audience, but it's not growing because people just don't want to get into such a long series.
1,000
Yeah.
chapters.
Okay, people keep saying 1,000 chapters, but One Piece is paced
That's
so well.
1,049, isn't it?
One Piece is paced so well, it doesn't feel like 1,000 chapters. Like when you watch
No,
Avengers,
for sure. I mean,
when
the
you
manga
watch-
is paced super well.
yeah, when you
You
watch
can say that,
Avengers
and-
Endgame or Avengers Infinity War, do you feel like it's 3 or 4 hours? No, you feel like it's a 2-hour movie because it's just paced
Well,
so well. That's how I
like,
would
you-
describe.
From an outsider's
Piece.
perspective, because I was that, and I technically still am. 1,000 chapters is a lot. But when I go, you know what game you should play? Final Fantasy 14. It's so good. You only have to play like 500 hours to catch up. It's not that big a deal. Like it's a lot. Like it feels like it goes by fast, but that's because you've experienced it and know it goes by fast.
Like I'm gonna compare it to, let's say, Attack on Titan, but the problem with Attack on Titan is there's more chapters, there's more pages per chapter compared to One Piece.
Yeah,
Will
it's
always have
monthly.
15 pages, but Attack on Titan it has like 30, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Around give or take.
Yeah. So
I think I got 40ish.
So it's 131 chapters if I'm correct. 131 times
139.
139? Whoa. That's a lot more than
Yeah,
I thought it would be.
because yeah,
I'm
the current anime is caught up to chapter 130. And there are 9 more chapters left.
Oh, I'm excited.
And 9 is extra long because it got an extended version
So
later on.
we're going to do 139 times 30 pages. That's 4,170 pages. I'm going to divide that by 15 and see how many One Piece chapters that would be. That's only 278 One Piece chapters, guys. Oh,
That's
God.
a lot. It's very long. When you tried to do that, it's very long.
Yeah.
We've done that before.
I was gonna be
I'm
like,
still looking
oh, but
forward
you've
to it,
read
but-
all of Attack on Titan.
Uh-huh. You've all read a 1/4.
Yeah, no, you could read like Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, and
Oh no.
like
He did
and
say that in the
another
video, yeah.
Massive, like
Berserk?
manga.
Well,
Probably not Berserk. The thing
Yeah,
about
it's
like
long.
Berserk and something like
it was a month.
it's very
longer.
detailed.
Yeah.
Well, even beyond that, and that's something I would say about One Piece as time goes on. Not to the level of Berserk, don't get me wrong, but like these chapters of One Piece, they're very good, but you'll see how like the framing on different things, right? Like it's very large. Like Luffy's face in a certain panel will be very large. Like there isn't necessarily a ton going on per panel in most panels. It's
Mhm.
usually like, here is the idea for this panel. Here's the one thing happening in this panel. That is not what happens in like, more modern chapters. Like you have to spend considerably more time reading each panel.
Yeah,
just
people
to
get more
the
skilled
art.
and teams get
Well,
better.
yeah, over 20 years, Oda is
Mhm.
going to get significantly better at,
Yeah, like I know we're
doing
gonna
his
keep
job.
going back to it because it's my favorite manga and the only one I read while airing. Technically, we're not gonna talk about the other one. But watch, like I was there for 4, maybe 5 years, somewhere in there, and even over that period of time between chapter 97 and 139, the like artist and his team, like they got way better, and that was over 4 years.
Mhm.
And this is the biggest manga, and this is the biggest best-selling comic book of all time, and like it's it's 20 years. You said more than that, probably
25. It
Mhm.
started in
25
97.
years. Yeah, I may have like little like, and that's how to put it. That panel didn't translate well for me to understand that. Great, I'm going to love 20 years from now.
Yeah, I think I have the best appreciation for it just because it's been with me for so long.
Mhm.
And so I look at your side of things and I finally realize, yeah, this is old and people have been I've taken inspiration from it when I write my stories. So it's not shocking that,
Every shonen manga, like I said, it's the best-selling comic book of all time.
Yeah.
Bigger than Spider-Man, bigger than Batman or Superman.
Yeah, I think its sales figures passed Superman and Batman like a year ago, maybe.
Yeah, it just did within the past year. I think this year, like within the past 6 months, but
Okay, so
like it's crazy.
so do you have like any ideas about what's gonna happen next? Do you have any theories or just like?
Well, I know we have 8 more crew members to get. We'll get 8. Let's see. Just to go through the ones I know:
Okay,
redhead girl,
okay,
the black-haired girl,
okay.
the dog thing with the blue afro, or I think he had blue afro. The skeleton man. That's it. Those are the ones I know. So that's only 4. So we got 4 more to go that I don't know about. Unless those people aren't part of the crew, they could be characters that are introduced way later.
Right.
Other than that, I got nothing. I did take a note. They're headed towards the Grand Line, I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
which I assume is like the Tortuga of this world.
It's not
If I had
the.
to guess.
It's not. Should I say it, Lucian? Or
You can say whatever.
I was just gonna be specific. It's not a. It's not an island. It's just a body of water.
Okay. Cool.
So
I'm interested.
we're in like
I
the East Blue.
Yeah.
Right
so
now.
we're
Yes.
in a certain body of
I am
water right now.
interested in the map. Will there be a time when they show the map?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty soon actually.
Okay. Okay, cool.
In the next.
I'm interested.
So I will say the last thing to happen within the chapter was, it says, Luffy and his first crewman, Zoro, set sail, neither of them realizing they've made one serious mistake.
Yes, that's it. Yes, that did happen.
What do you think
what
that
was it?
mistake is?
Letting their mortal rival Kobe live.
Fair.
Honestly, that's all I really got. They let everyone live. That they didn't kill anyone.
They're not
One of them is
evil.
going to come
They're
back
just
and bite.
pirates. Oh my god! What is it? What is that? The impression you got that they're murderers?
No. I mean, just that's okay. Look, in any piece of media where your protagonist or protagonist gang don't kill people, they're gonna come back to ruin their day one day. Like you gotta do it at least once. You gotta have the moral dilemma of should I kill people? Should I not kill people? Who knows? The
One
answer's
Piece
no.
isn't that kind of series though. They don't have this. Like I said, this introductory arc introduces
Then
the
that's
themes.
that's even better reason. That's an even better reason for them to come back and bite them until they learn.
This isn't Attack on
It's
Titan. This is a children's.
Well,
This is for children.
based on my notes, the options are Kobe, Captain Axehand Morgan, Captain Axehand Morgan's son, or
Helmeppo.
huh?
What do you have
Helmeppo.
against Helmeppo, man? He just owned a wolf, and he was acting like a dictator. He was just living his life, yo. I don't know why everybody hates him.
I'm going to. I believe this
My
is a direct
billionaire
quote
daddy
when I
says.
say, "Daddy, I want you to kill someone for me." To quote him.
Pretty sure that is a direct quote. Yeah.
Helmeppo
Actually,
is just living his
another
best
option-
life. You guys are haters.
Okay. Option.
He's living
new
his best
option.
life. No
The
one else is.
other
My
that
best
girl,
life means no one else is alive.
the girl they were staying with, like the little girl, she snuck aboard the ship.
You think she's stuck aboard the You're thinking too much
That's
about this.
interesting.
That is an option. I don't know. Those are my theories.
Mhm.
Do they have a
Uh,
ship?
They have like a little sailboat. It's not
Okay,
very
that's fine.
large.
There's a
yeah.
hole in their boat.
Okay. Lucian, what
They
are
forgot their good dolphin friend.
True. They'd be able to get around much easier.
Yeah,
if
they
the dolphin was
would.
leading them everywhere.
Lucian, what are you excited about without giving any spoilers?
The next antagonist that we meet in the next arc.
Oh yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with you 100%. Ooh.
Yeah. I don't think Aggro will like them.
Oh no, he's gonna hate it. He's gonna
Oh.
hate this whole arc.
Okay. I will say, fair warning, I don't love the character designs of that.
Of course you don't. Everybody says
I'm
that.
Not a huge fan.
What a basic opinion to have.
So, favorite characters so far, based on what we've seen so far,
Zoro.
for all of us. Zoro for you?
Zoro for me
Sapling,
too.
I assume it's.
We'll do just like favorite character per an arc.
Yeah, for me,
Uh,
honestly, either Shanks or Shanks' crewmate with the drumstick and the pistol, Lucky Roo. That
Okay.
one frame of just assassinating that other dude puts him up
Oh.
there at like number 2 or 3, but probably Shanks.
We also gotta.
I'm gonna change my for real. My favorite character is probably just like Luffy, because
Mhm.
he's just introduced so well throughout this arc.
He
Like we
is.
don't know a lot about Zoro yet. I love Zoro to death, but
His friend fell down the stairs.
yes.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Queen.
Yeah.
Zoro is all
forever.
for equality. He's like, what the fuck do you mean? It doesn't matter, you're a girl, whatever. Don't you take my win from me, Kuina. I don't care if you're a girl. I'm gonna kick your ass because I'm gonna kick your ass, and don't take this
Falling
from
down
me.
the stairs.
Oh my god, she's dead. Now, can I kill her corpse? If I beat her corpse, does this count?
Stop it! No, come on. He actually thought of her as a friend. Please.
I know.
But
Okay, now I have an idea. We have to rank every arc.
oh
I'm going to
God.
rank this very controversially. Number 1.
What?
Fair.
That's crazy. I'm gonna give it a rank 0. How about that?
Oh, I can't believe
Damn.
you're so harsh on it. What is this arc called? Perfect. No, wait, perfect.
Romance
I know
Dawn.
this thing. Romance Dawn. That's
Mhm.
not perfect, but that's Romance Dawn.
The idea
why it's
being
called that?
behind like Romance
It's
Dawn
the dawn
is
of the
adventure.
romantic story comedy between Luffy and Zoro.
No.
That'd be interesting.
Stop it. It's the idea of like Romance Dawn doesn't mean like romantic interest. It means like
Yeah.
your love of adventure. That's what it means. So like the dawn is basically like the dawn of the adventure, of the greatest adventure ever, which is true. Yes, that is correct. This is the dawn of the greatest adventure that has ever been told, in my opinion.
It's also a reference to Romance Dawn being two chapters that Oda had written before One Piece that were set in a very
Yes, I
similar
do
world.
know about that.
So
I
there was-
haven't read like
there
I've
was
never read
Romance
them, but I know
Dawn
about
version 1, Romance Dawn version 2. The only character to appear in all three versions of like what we just read, V1 and V2, was Luffy.
Yes.
I'll have to read those eventually.
Yeah.
I think you should read them
he-
after we finish the prologue. It would be a nice thing to go
Yeah,
Yeah,
back
I'll
to.
definitely,
probably.
definitely go back.
And you also have to
There is
read
a character who
Wanted.
shows up, yeah.
Do you know about Wanted, Lucian?
No,
don't
are there
know.
spin-offs?
It's like it was a couple of short stories that Oda wrote before he wrote them for a
Oh,
contest.
I heard about this.
Yes. So actually, one of his short stories is technically canon.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
And I think after we finish the prologue, I think we should go back to.
Are there any
Those-
like spin-off mangas, like even just short,
Yeah.
like 4-issue things?
There's like
There's
a.
quite a few. They're on Viz.
Okay.
Hmm.
If they're canon, then it'll be your job to figure out when we should read them.
Well, they're not.
Because I'm-
like the ones that are on Viz are not. They're crossover manga.
Mm,
We'll talk more about them when we get closer.
Yeah.
I'll wait. Are any of the movies canon, like Fairy Tale?
What?
Are the like One Piece film blank canon, Saflam?
No, they are not.
No,
Only
they're not.
only one of them is only two. No, one of them is canon. One of them is canon, and
Is
the
it
next
gold?
one.
In red.
No. It's actually Strong World is the only one that's canon.
I saw like a trailer
Okay.
or some sort of animation from that one. I don't know if it's a trailer or just a little
So the
like a clip. I don't have it, but I remember it looking good.
movie that every movie that came out after Strong World has like an aspect of its story that's canon, like maybe a character or like an idea or like a place that's canon, but everything else is just like for funsies and money. You know, Toei Animation needed some money that year.
I'm gonna pretend they're all canon and we can watch all of them.
Oh, please no.
God.
The movies are like not the best that we have.
So, okay, what do we watch or read? What do we watch? What do we read next?
Well, we're gonna read Orangetown,
Oh, I dropped my phone.
right, Lucian?
My phone did not break. We're good.
Yeah, we could. Should we just do one arc, or do we want to go all the way and do two arcs?
How many episodes? Or how many chapters?
I think
So if we just do the next arc, it will be 13 chapters. If we do two arcs, that would be 34.
I think I want to
Let's
do the next two. I think I want to do
I'm
the
down
next two
for that.
because
I think that makes sense.
these two are kind of like even
We'll
though
start doing one chapter when then they get like if they get over 40, we'll start considering going down to one.
Well, yeah,
You know,
because
that
I
sort of thing.
think getting through these two is good. I like both of them, and I think that combined they probably make for a good episode. And then the arcs after that probably both deserve their own
I agree completely.
episode.
I don't think Lucian ranked the arc.
I would
Oh,
have
no.
to put it at number 1. I'd say.
Oh man,
We can't be friends anymore.
Yeah.
I should be saying that I ranked it as a 0. So I'm adverse to both.
No,
of
you ranked it at 0. He ranked it at 1. He didn't rank it at 1. He ranked it at 1.
Wow, it's like that Brooklyn Nine-Nine meme. It's like you have to say, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." That's the one.
He won't do that, and I don't blame him.
Any last thoughts or words or anything from anybody? Definitely need.
One Piece good.
Maybe? Question mark.
Hopefully you shift your opinion soon.
I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it.
No, but you
It's
don't
good.
like it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It is the first
frustrating.
7 chapters of a manga.
You're
There's
like-
a reason I don't read manga when they just
Fair.
start airing.
Okay with it.
You're not at chapter 1049 yet.
No.
That is the
We'll get
latest
there.
chapter number.
Yeah.
Man, that latest
You have
chapter
to, okay,
was crazy
you have to
good.
decide who's going to be my favorite character, what's going to be my favorite arc.
Mm,
I think your favorite character is gonna be character named Robin.
Okay, I do know that name. I don't know anything about them. Him, her.
Them. We'll say them. Keep it vague.
I think his favorite arc is gonna be Marineford.
Oh, that's
I
probably
don't know
gonna be
any
up
arc
there.
names or anything about them, so just.
Yeah. I'll probably agree with you for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Marineford.
I'm just thinking about it from the
Yes.
lens of like he likes Attack on Titan, so is this like
You
and who's
just
going to be my based on that? Who's
you
going to
just
be my
said
favorite
that
character?
too
Definitely.
what did you say, Lucian?
I said you said it too high for him.
Oh no.
Do you think is going to be my favorite character?
Based on what you like in Attack on Titan,
I did give you my top 10 unprompted.
You did. You did. Can I say? You said it was Aaron, right?
Yes.
Here's your top.
Don't say that in public.
They'll mob
Thankfully,
you.
This is a private, unpublished podcast. Totally not public.
Honestly, I think it's gonna be Law. I think just
Okay, I know
the,
you've mentioned with them before. I don't know anything about them.
just the philosophy and stuff like that. Of yeah, because I agree with
We have
because
this recorded.
that's it. Now we have to see in like 10,000 years.
It was one of my favorites.
He's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
He's just so cool. He's just cool. Anyways,
Well, then,
Yeah.
plug your stuff.
plug my stuff.
Pause.
Poggers.
I'm
at
a recent Twitch streamer. Only iNegra and Lucian watch my stuff. So I have a very, as you can see, I make podcasts with my audience. So if you want to make a podcast with me, go watch me on Twitch. It's my same name as my Saflam, as everybody calls it. It's Saflam, but it's you guys can't pronounce it that way. It's so sad. I chose a bad name, guys. And then there's also just my YouTube channel generally where I post analysis essays, and there I'll have spoilers for One Piece. Don't go to my YouTube channel, iNagro. I have spoilers for One Piece. Don't go to it.
Got it. One Piece and World Ends with You.
Yes,
Can't watch any of your content.
I'm actually finishing that video tomorrow or today. Like I've been procrastinating, but I have all the material I need to make the video. I just haven't sat down and made the video yet. But my YouTube channel is called Aflam Gangster. It's AFLAM space gangster. Spell it gangster, whatever you want. And you
Just
have
probably
to.
put links to this stuff in
Yes,
the like.
there'll be links in the
descriptions.
description below. Yes, and then what's my last thing? What else do? I like write books or whatever, but I haven't published that anywhere. So
One day.
one day, yes. How about you, Lucian? Why don't you plug your stuff?
Yeah, sure. I sometimes, maybe stream. You'll most often find me co-commentating on Iron Agro's channel. Not my own, but sometimes I do stream. So you can follow me over there on Twitch. I do intend to stream at some point. I just need to do it. So yeah. But that's about it for me. What about you, Agro?
I stream on Twitch at Iron Aggro. Replace the zero. IR0NAGR0, no spaces.
He's probably the most
You can also
famous
find
out of
me.
all of us.
I know. I have emotes. It's so cool. And I also am on Twitter at the same handle. At IR0N. Oh, wait, that's wrong. Yes. IR0NAGR0. Iron Aggro. They also have Twitters.
Oh yeah.
I don't
do.
use mine.
Same handle as my Twitch.
I have a Discord.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll figure out how to put a link. Who knows? Maybe we'll.
I'll probably do it. Don't worry. I have to edit all this anyways.
Oh no.
This is gonna be fun. Yay! More work for me. Next time, hopefully, we'll have a name and we'll have a cool logo. But for now, we're starting out with Romance Dawn, and we're gonna end it here. Thank you guys so
What's
much
the name
for
of the next
listening.
arc?
Orange Town.
Next two arcs.
Orange Town and
Orange
Syrup
Town,
Village.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
And then we go to Pancake
Cue the
Island.
outro music.
We have outro music? We have the budget for that?